The thing is, like, what's the point of this question? Where is this conversation going when I answer that?
Right.
And that's when it turns in, when I think about it, and then it's like, this is going to be awkward, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I answer this? I don't want to go into this conversation.
Right.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Don't Say That episode. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And today, everyone, we got a good episode for you. But before that, I just want to take the time to say, hey, TJF, it's Friday. Hopefully, you're having a great day. There's awesome things that me and Adam have been working on that we're very excited to bring to you. If they're not open already, who knows? They could be in the link in the description already. But if they're not, be on the lookout. Me and Adam are making some big moves, and we really would appreciate all of your support in this new venture. Yeah, that we're going to be taking on. It'd be super awesome. But hey, if you want to support us in different ways, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can join our membership where you get special live streams and even special videos just for you. We'd love it and appreciate it so much if you did that. So let's jump on to our video for today. Today we're going to be talking about taboo topics when talking to foreigners. This is a very good topic that me and Adam have had our fair share of awkward moments in conversations with people here in Japan. In our past company and events where it's an English style event, everyone's speaking in English, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere from right field, here comes this curveball. And everyone's like, ooh, that was very awkward that you just said that. And now
we finished talking, it seems. Oh, my drink's empty.
Yeah, so it happens, everyone. Yeah. And it happens, of course, even with people speaking the same language. There are things that you just shouldn't say or shouldn't point out or shouldn't talk about. Those would be considered taboo topics.
Yes.
So today we're going to cover some things that, if you have a chance to speak to someone in English, these are some things you shouldn't be talking about. So first and foremost, anything that has to do with appearance is usually something you want to be very careful when you're talking about.
Yes.
Now, it is interesting because, you know, a lot of people in Western countries, we're taught to grow up thinking that it's okay to be different. You should be different. Yep. Have a different kind of hairstyle, tattoos, different type of clothing and stuff. Like, that's cool. That makes you you. But at the same time, there's some points that you shouldn't touch upon if you're going to like talk about someone's appearance. Now, me and Adam were just talking a little bit before the video, and we were saying that compliments, for the most part, are okay, right?
Yeah. Compliments, for the most part, are okay. But there is a right way to compliment and a wrong way to compliment.
Good compliment. Adam, that green shirt looks good on you.
Thank you.
That's it. Not creepy.
Not creepy.
Just
not
like
nothing. Yeah. MJ.
Yeah.
You got nice hair. Did you get a haircut?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I just let it grow.
Style looks good on you.
Thanks.
Bad compliment? Hey, MJ.
Yeah.
You got a nice big nose.
Thank you. Okay, so
there's one.
People can be very self-conscious about features of themselves, especially the face.
Yeah.
So in Western countries, most people are a little concerned about how big their noses or their ears are. So you don't want to say that. Now, it's very interesting because in Japan and a lot of other Asian countries, that is something that is good. To have a big or a tall nose is good, right? But what you don't have is what you want.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking. So people in America, if you have a big nose, people are like, oh man, I'm very self-conscious about my nose because it's so big. So if someone in Japan is like, hey, wow, that's such a cool big nose. I'd be like, whoa, that's rude.
Yeah.
Because maybe even if I didn't think of my nose as being too big, those words aren't nice.
Right.
And you can't translate that. You shouldn't translate takai hana because if
too
you say big,
tall,
big means like gross big.
Right.
It's not good at all.
A lot of the times when you add big to anything, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because living in Japan for so many years, seeing how some of the comedians act towards one another, something that is really degrading is how the men in the comedy world or on TV treat the women who are comedians. Like, they almost all have to be ugly in some way or overweight.
Right.
And not only that, that is the point of the joke.
Right, a lot of the
For them
times.
to make fun of how ugly they are, or if they look like an Obasan, or like how big they are. They have a big head, big chin. And that's what we're all laughing at. And like, we shouldn't be laughing at that.
Right. I mean, although sometimes this is not an excuse or anything, but the comedian who is on the receiving end seems to be okay with it. But there are people who are not okay with it and don't want to be the end or the punchline to any joke, who maybe have the same type of features as those comedians. Right.
But that is something that is so normalized on TV and in culture in Japan, within especially the comedian circle, that's how the kids will now see it.
Right.
And people growing up and people around who are watching it, they see, oh, okay, you get to make fun of girls that are ugly and are overweight.
Right.
No.
Outwardly, in public.
Yeah. Or even just talking about it. I've seen
yeah.
plenty of like variety shows where like girls are talking about like breast size, like very openly.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that might be an open kind of topic for women in Japan to talk about. But in Western countries, in America and Canada, you better get ready to either get slapped in the face or go to jail.
Yeah.
Or something maybe lighter or worse.
Or worse, yeah.
So you do never want to talk about any of that stuff because people are very strong about giving their opinions in America. So if you say something along those lines, that will be sexual harassment. Straight
up, yeah.
Trust. Real problems can come out of that. So everyone just knows in America and Canada, when you're speaking to each other, you don't talk about that stuff. It's not necessary.
Right.
So that is, I think, one big thing that is kind of within the culture of Japan, and where it's like, oh, it's okay to do that here, but when you're speaking in an English conversation or in an English-speaking country, that is something you definitely don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Be wary.
Another one is politics, and now is a very political time. This is on a different note. And maybe the views are very opposing in a lot of situations. The views for the American president.
Yes.
The views about society. The views about whatever's happening, policy between different countries. And I realize that in Japan, most people don't really talk about politics as much.
Yeah.
Outside. But there are a lot of talks on the news and a lot of panel discussions about different policies and politics within Japan and relations between China and Japan, or Japan and America and stuff like that. So there is a chance that if you ever interact with people in America, they might talk to you about these kinds of situations.
Ooh.
And you might wonder how to deal with that.
Okay.
Right? And the best thing to do is be as conservative with your responses as possible. Like, don't be strong on the point.
I would like to say that, because again, going back to what I was mentioning, how in Western countries we're taught to, be vocal about your opinion and stuff. True. So the thing that comes with that is being able to understand
I see.
The other side.
Right.
And not being like, well, no, Adam, I don't think so. Yeah, you're wrong because the politics that I like are like this.
Right.
They're so much better than yours.
Right.
No, it's, if you want to keep the heiwa mamoru, keep the peace, you give your opinions. Hopefully that person could give their opinions back and both understand that we think differently and we can still be friends.
Yes.
And have a civilized conversation.
Time. Yes.
And say, okay, wow.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Which is totally fine.
Yeah.
And that is something that maybe doesn't happen so often in the Japanese culture and language.
Right.
So then can be difficult to really attack in the English environment.
Yeah, for sure.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
But so we usually say don't talk about politics in conversation.
Right, or like religion.
Or religion.
Kind of same thing.
It's not the same thing, but along the lines of those topics have different views that are very strong. One way is one way and the other way is the other way, and that's it.
You're pretty much not going to be able to change that person's opinion.
Right.
So,
which is why you don't want to escalate into a battle, right?
Right. So they say, just don't
talk about it. Leave it out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing is, at least for people in Japan,
Mhm.
when we've had conversations with a lot of people, a very common question is, do you like Japanese girls?
Oh.
Now, of course, us being guys, we both like girls. So
yes.
they say, okay, well, do you like Japanese girls? Where it's
Right.
like, I would always be like, yeah, I like any girl.
yeah.
Beautiful women all over the world.
Yeah.
You know? So of course, yes, yeah, there's plenty of beautiful Japanese women. So,
Mhm.
but like, the thing is, like, what's the point of this question? Where is this conversation going when I answer that?
Right.
And that's when it turns in, when I think about it, and then it's like, this is going to be awkward, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I answer this? I don't want to go into this conversation.
Right.
So that's definitely one you just don't worry about.
True.
Oh, I see you have a wedding ring. Are you married to a Japanese person?
Or are you married?
Are you? Oh, okay.
Is she
married?
Japanese?
Yes.
Mm.
So, yeah.
But that's one. And going into the long side of that,
Ooh.
approaching someone with a question about whether or not they like a specific gender
okay.
or a specific type of person
yeah.
is probably not something you want to lead with
Unless
unless you want to do the follow-up answers and conversation that happens if the answer you're expecting is different from what you receive.
Right.
Like,
example,
you ask a person, do you like Japanese girls? And they say, no, I like Japanese boys or
Okay.
guys. How do you respond?
Yeah.
What is your reaction to
Right.
that? Because your impression is that everybody is a certain way.
True. Yes.
Boys like girls,
Right.
girls like boys. But it's not exactly like that.
Right. And
There's-
now an awkward atmosphere
arises. from
arises.
this.
So you don't know what to say now. And that person who answered you has almost like a bit of like tension when they're speaking because they feel like, why did you have to ask that? But
Right.
I'm proud enough to say, no, I like men.
Men, yeah.
So,
Is there a problem with that?
right.
Don't talk about it.
Hey. So there's some times in the past where I've been at events in my previous company
Mhm.
and some people will come to me and be like, wow, your hair is so beautiful. It's like a woman.
Oh.
Or like I had my back towards them and they come and like, oh, MJ, it's you. I thought it was a gorgeous woman from your hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, ha, ha. But inside I'm like,
Jerk.
that's not a compliment. That wasn't nice and that wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Now, for me personally, I've had hair for a long time and I've been made fun of for having long hair from like when I was in middle school and stuff.
Okay.
From other kids making fun of me
Yeah.
to adults making fun of me,
Wow.
saying that, well, it looks like a girl and stuff. So there's some, scarring from that.
Right.
But still, overall, like, instead of saying that, just being like, wow, MJ, like, you have beautiful hair. But, see, it gets weird.
No, I
Because
don't
you
even...
can't just come out and
Yeah.
say, oh, wow, MJ, beautiful hair. It's like, no, it has to come to that
from
topic.
a place, right?
Yes. So in that case,
Yeah.
just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Because those people that were like, "Oh, MJ, I thought you were a girl because of your hair," like, just don't say that.
Yeah.
Just say, "Oh, MJ, wow, I didn't know it was you. How you doing?"
Right.
Whoop.
Right. Finish.
That's it. Loop right around that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's also going to anything that has to do with the
Looks.
appearance
Appearance.
of a person.
that's-
Never comment on something that a person. Of course, you can change your hairstyle, but
Right.
if you can't change it, don't compliment on it.
Yes.
If I'm wearing a blue shirt and you say, "Hey, that's an awesome shirt. I love the color blue," that's great.
Everything's positive. about
Everything's
that.
positive.
Yeah.
Positive. But if you say, "Hey, you got brown skin. I want to be tan just like you," it's just like, okay.
Now, there's plenty of these instances that we're talking about where we know that these people aren't meaning any harm.
Yes.
They're just a little ignorant by saying these things. They're
Yeah.
not fully thinking about how the other person is going to take those compliments or
Right.
those words. So that's why you just don't say them at all.
Right.
And they can be taboo. So I think that's it. End of this episode. Anything about appearance, you should generally not touch upon.
Yes.
Unless it's very good. Like, those shoes are awesome. Wow, those earrings, that jewelry you have is so
It's great.
beautiful.
You got a nice haircut.
Yeah.
I saw you yesterday. You cut your hair. Awesome.
Yes. Think about when you say those things, what is the person going to say?
Right.
If they're going to say, thank you, wow, thank you so much, then that's probably a good compliment. If they're going to stop and be like,
Okay.
do a little robot dance backwards and get out of the conversation.
Finish the tequila shots and run away.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this topic. What are some taboo things that you think are taboo? And we'll maybe discuss it down there.
Yeah.
Let us know. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Everyone who's been supporting on as a member to the YouTube channel, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, yeah, again, new things coming out from MJ and Adam. So be on the lookout.
And if you want to get into touch with us, check us out on Instagram, where we spend most of our time in message to comment community a lot. We have TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter as well if you want to subscribe there, because we post sometimes there too.
We'll see you on the next step.